चरण सरोज रज, निज बन मुकुर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर बिक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवारी सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल चहाते, कभी कोबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपत दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका बेली मुख माही, जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम भजन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई छूट ही बद्धि महा सुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सरा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महदेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण. So we are reaching towards the end of the solar dynasty, Suryavanshis, the Ikshvakus. Last week we heard about and talked about Sri Ramji. It is actually impossible to talk about him in just 1 hour. I remember when we had started the Ramayana, Tulsi Baba's Ramayana at that time took 2 years to complete. And if ever I was to lift Tulsi Baba's Ramayana and Valmiki Ji's Ramayana again, I'm sure it'll take around 4 to 5 years to complete. So talking about such great souls is actually not doing justice to them. But then Ram and all the Suryavanshis we have talked about so far should have created a spark in us. A spark that tells us that if they can, so can I. When they were normal individuals who have walked this earth, just like me in flesh and blood, they could reach beyond, they could reach within, they could get established in their Satchit Anand Swaroop, the divinity that they are. Ram started as Raja Ram and came back as Sri Ram Bhagwan. And then we said that there are many other sages. For instance, Ramana Maharishi. We call him Bhagavan because they have realized the divine within. There are no two. There is no duality that our scriptures talk about. There is only one. That one, Brahman, who has always been there and will always be there. That energy, that radiating energy. There is no Adi, Madhya or Ant to him. He is, he was, he will remain. At the same way, we are, we were, and we will remain. What perishes is this body. And we take another body. What perishes are the relations. And when we take another birth, we build new relations. What perishes is the material possessions. And when we take another birth, we again get new possessions. We don't even have any memory of the past life. And this, for a fact, is the truth. And we all know it. Then what takes us so long to awaken? Why does it take us so long to awaken? Because we do not want to awaken. हम जागना ही नहीं चाहते. Ram wanted to get awakened. Krishna wanted to awaken. All the sages wanted to awaken. They wanted to get up from the slumber. We don't. And this happens to us very often. When we are sleeping, and then we have a dream, isn't it? And the dream is real. It seems as though it is happening, it is real, and many a times, even after we get up, there is a kind of a disorientation in us. And we do not understand what was real and what was not. And that is, based on that topic, the entire Ashtavakra Gita has been written. The story goes that Raja Janak had a dream. And in his dream, he was howling and crying, "Oh my goodness, my kingdom is gone. I have lost everything. I am a pauper now. I have nothing at all. Oh my God, I have nothing. And there is nowhere to go. Where will I go?" He was thirsty and hungry. His hair were upheaved and he was running helter-skelter. He needed a drink of water, but nobody was offering him water. He was begging because he was hungry. Not only this, people were trying to attack him, hit him, call him bad. And he was so taken aback that when he got up with a shout. He shouted. All the soldiers walked in to find out what had happened to their king. And the king became quiet. All he could say was that real or this real? Because when he got up, he was a king. He was at his palace, sleeping in his room, on that beautiful velvet bed, being fed by people with gold cutlery and jugs. All around him was opulent. But just a second ago, he was a pauper. He was begging for food. He was trying to run away from people who were trying to hit him. So he kept saying, "Ye sach, ya wo sach." Was the dream real or this world real? And see, come to think of it, we spend a lot of our time sleeping, isn't it? Don't we? As we grow up, probably the sleep increases or decreases, but I can safely say on an average of 8 hours, 10 hours of our time is spent sleeping. So फिर the rest are only 14 hours left. So what is the reality? This 14 or 16 hours you may say, or that 8 hours? Because you feel the emotions in your dream. When it's a sad dream, you cry. When it's a scary dream, you get scared. When it is a happy dream, you laugh also in your sleeps. So what is the guarantee that is real, that this is real and that is not? For all you know, the dream could be real and this not. So he kept asking, "Ye sach, ya wo sach? Ye sach, ya wo sach?" And people thought he had gone crazy. And a lot of sages were called, a lot of people were called to help the king. Ultimately, Ashtavakra, because he was twisted it at 8 sides, 8 points, Ashtavakra gave him the Ashtavakra Gita, which addresses this very topic. He told Raja Janak, "Na wo sach, na ye sach." Neither the waking state nor the sleeping state or the dream state is a reality. Na ye sach, na wo sach. Tu hi sach. Tu he such. Only I am real. And not this I that is the body, not this I that is the mind, not this I that is the thought. That I who is a witness. Have you not seen many a times while you are probably doing something or talking or thinking, if you watch carefully, there is an observer within you. Somebody witnesses the talking, somebody witnesses the dream, somebody witnesses the actions. There is a witness within, isn't it? There is somebody who's watching. While the mind is thinking, while the body is acting, while we are interacting, there is somebody other than the body, other than the mind, other than the actions, other than the sight, other than all the sense organs, who is a witness to all this, who is seeing all this. Try to observe that. That witness knows that first you were a child, then you became an adult, then you will grow up, then you will become old. There is something about this witness which has not changed. He is changeless, isn't it? This witness knows that today the mood is foul. This witness knows that today the mood is happy. This witness knows that the body is aging. This witness knows somewhere that the mind is not thinking right or the thought is very elevated. Do you know who this witness is? This witness is you. You're not the thought, you're not the mind, you're not the body. You are that. And that is what Ashtavakra says. Na ye sach, na wo sach. Raja, bas tu hi sach. I am the truth. Rest all, be it waking or sleeping, is but a dream. It is but a passing, unrealistic event, if I may say so. And these people who were known as Janaks, the Rajas, they knew this. Raja Janak was not an ordinary person. He was the descendant of Nibi. But the story goes that there was another king called Nibi in the Ikshvaku dynasty. He was also the son of Nibi, the son of Ikshvaku. And he had invited sage Vashisht to be his chief priest. He wanted to conduct a Havan. Now we are talking about the Ikshvakus again, right? This is the last Ikshvaku king that Bhagwat here is going to talk about. So he invited Raja Vashisht to help him do his Havan, the prayers. Because Vashishtji was their Kul Guru, right? Having a guru, a Kul Guru, a guru of the family is very essential, and we have learned why. Not a guru in the sense a teacher, acharya, nahi. Somebody who is realized, who can help you, who can see what we cannot see, and who can tell us ki nahi ye nahi wo, don't do that, do this, because he sees more than we see. He is elevated, he is beyond today, yesterday and tomorrow. Unfortunately, our lives just rotate around today, yesterday and tomorrow. Our lives just rotate around our four boundaries of the wall. Our lives just rotate around the blood relations, that also the near and dear ones. We live a very, very small, and I should say claustrophobic kind of a life. We are unable to expand beyond these four dimensions of the wall. That is the unfortunate thing. It is as if infinite that we are has been captured and trapped or imprisoned in these four walls, in boundaries. We are not bound. No boundaries can hold us. Yet we stay bound, just like that elephant who during his childhood was chained, and no matter how hard he tried, he could not release himself. In the same way, when he grew up, even though he was not chained, even though there was nothing around his feet, even the voice made by the elephant tamer would keep him put. And at that time, the elephant is fully grown. No chain can hold him back, he's so strong. But because of the conditioning, he is bound without the iron chains also. That is exactly what has happened to us. Not only the conditioning of this birth, but the conditioning of all the previous births also. We have layers and layers and layers of conditioning. And to remove those layers and layers of conditioning, समय तो लगेगा ना, it will take time. But we are not patient enough. We are not. We want turant result, immediate result. Oh, I have been praying every day, but I don't see any results. Oh, I have been chanting every day, but I don't see any results. Oh, I devote 2 hours listening to satsangs every day, single day. It has been years now, but I don't see any results. You do not even know where you are in your journey. For all you know, you might have just started your journey in the spiritual life. For all you know, the person who does not spend much time has already done a lot of tapasya in his previous birth. So hence, right now he is ready and ripe. See, you should remember, we are all mangoes on the tree, right? Or mangoes in a box, because we hardly get to see mangoes on a tree, right? Whenever the mango season comes, what do? We get a peti, right? Box of mangoes. And there are certain mangoes which are ripe, certain which are not ripe. And what we do is, every time we open the box and we see, okay, which one is a ripe mango, we'll take that out and then we'll leave the other mangoes to ripen. And then slowly and slowly, one by one after another, the mangoes get ripe. In the same way, we all are in that box. Eventually, whether we like it or not, we all will become ripe. We all have to awaken. There is no other way. Some awaken sooner, some awaken later, depending on their previous journey. So when this thought comes to you, I have been kind, ask yourself, really? Have I been kind in thought, word and deed? Have I been kind to all existing, tangible, intangible, living, non-living things? Have I been kind in all my previous births also? Oh, so in the same way, you have to say, okay, I am truthful. Again, mansa vacha karmana. And then you say, intangible, tangible, or living, non-living in my previous births. I am devout. Again, mansa vacha karmana, in thought, word and deed. Am I devout? And again, what will you ask? To all living, non-living, tangible, intangible things, all through my previous births. We do not know. Arey bhai, one guru keeps saying, खबर नहीं पल की और मूर्ख बात करे कल की. खबर नहीं पल की और मूर्ख तू बात करे कल की. And when my Nanu always used to say, कल का कल से नाता है, कल का कल से नाता है, पर आज बीच में आता है. कल का कल से नाता है, पर आज बीच में आता है. कल को रखो याद, कल का मालिक विधाता है. See, कल का कल से नाता है. Our future is connected to our past. And what comes in the middle is today. We do not know the past. और जितना भी पता है उसको याद रखो, because that will again come in front of us, because they are connected. The past and the future are connected. And what is there in the middle? Today. ये जो आज का पल है ना, that today, this moment is mine. Yesterday I cannot change. Tomorrow I do not know. Capture this moment and don't let this moment pass. This moment is mine. And if I do not sound very dejecting, let me tell you, we also have very partial control on this moment also. But let's not focus on the uncontrollable. Let's focus on the controllable. So now, over here, we'll go back to Nebi. And Nebi was the son of Ikshvakus, right? Now, he had invited sage Vashisht for a Havan. Now, Vashisht Guru said that I cannot come today. I have already committed to Indra. So, I have to go to the heavens and conduct a Havan there. So, let's do this, he told Nebi. Why don't you wait for me? Wait for me to come back. And when I come back, we will conduct the Havan. Now, Nebi kept silent. And the sage Vashishtji also left for heaven. Now, Nebi was starting to think. And he knew a lot connected to his life. He was not an ordinary person. He had a vision of the past and the future. He was Trikaldarshi kind of a thing. So he started thinking that I do not have much time left. As it is, I will have to leave this body. So it is better if I conduct this Havan without Guru Vashisht. So what he did is he started conducting the sacrificial session without his Guru. And what happened was he got other sages to help him conduct the session. But in the middle of the session, Guru Vashisht, after finishing the prayers, after finishing the tapasya, after finishing the Havan in Indralok, that is the heavens, he came down and he saw that Nebi had not followed his instructions. And Nebi had gone up to control and continue with the yagna without Guru Vashisht. Now Guru Vashisht got very, very angry. So what he did is, I curse you. He said, I curse you that your body shall fall. That is, he had to drop his body. He was there, but that outer layer, the body that we carry, fell. And when Nebi heard this, he knew that he was not doing anything wrong, but yes, he had not followed the instruction of the Guru. But again, time was running out for him, plus Muhurat was going away. So he had started the Havan without his Guru. There was not a big deal. The Guru should not have made such a big deal, should not have taken this to be a ego clash. So, thinking about this, saying this, Nebi got upset and he counter-cursed his Guru. He counter-cursed his Guru in what form? He counter-cursed his Guru saying that your body shall also drop. And both actually left their body. Because he said, O Guru, you not knowing what is right on account of greed. With these words, Nebi dropped his body, and at the same time, Vashisht Guru also lost his body. However, immediately, Vashisht Guru was reborn with the help of Mitra and Varun through Urvashi. Now, Nebi was not reborn. Nebi's body was there. And all the sages started crying foul. They said, no, Nebi did not make a mistake. We have to reinstate Nebi in his body. King Nebi. And without Nebi, it was impossible to continue with the Havan. And so they started talking. But Nebi, when he heard all this, he clearly said, I do not want to be trapped in this prison called body again. Can you imagine? I do not want to be trapped in this prison body again. He called his own body as a prison. I'll just read it out to you. Let this dead body of King Nebi come back to life if you are pleased, O God. When the God said, okay, why not? Tathastu. Nebi replied, let me not be imprisoned in a body again. Stricken with the fear of separation, sages do not long for union with the body and worship the lotus feet of Sri Hari. Devotion to him dispels the fear of transmigration. I too, therefore, am not eager to get back a body which brings in its train suffering, grief, fear, because of which death threatens the jeev everywhere as it follows the fish in water. What he is saying is, I do not want this body anymore. Now, he has an existence without the body. And they are saying, we'll reinstate you in your body. And Nebi is saying, not a chance. It is a prison. And all that fear that we get, all the grief that we get is because of this body. Now think about it. Isn't it true? The pain, the grief, the separation, everything is on account of this body. With the disease going on, the fear of catching the disease, fear of lonely, that people get lonely also, depression, everything is on account of this body, isn't it? Everything that we feel is not felt by that witness. Sometimes, what happens is, we confuse. Like there is a glove and there is a hand. Okay? The hand is moving everything. The hand is not the glove. But many a times the confusion happens. Is the hand the glove? That is the confusion. Although the body is going through emotions, the body is going through the fear, the mind is going through torments, the witness starts feeling that he is the one who is suffering. There is a detailed story which we had done at Bhagwat in the previous sessions regarding Puranjana. That is what had happened to him also. We start associating so much with the body that everything that is happening to the body is felt as if it is happening to us. Every relation that belongs to the body, we consider the relation to be ours. And yes, there is a relation, but the relation is the divinity within me and the divinity within them. It is not the bodily relation, but that divinity is forgotten. Divinity within me, divinity within you, the divinity within everybody else, the divinity within my blood relations and the divinity within the others who are not my blood relations, or the divinity within the people I hardly know, is the same. But what traps us? The bodily relations which are superficial. And we start living this world superficially, and that is where the agony comes. That is where the selfish nature comes. That is where jealousy comes. That is where hatred sprouts. That is where all the vices take room. So Nebi says, I refuse to re-enter this body. I do not want it. This has happened before also. When we do the story of Chitraketu, if I am not mistaken, when his son loses, his son is gone and he is weeping and lamenting, and the sages say, okay, we'll reinstate the soul in the body. The soul says, I refuse to go back into the body. Now, I don't even remember, in which birth were you my parents? I have had so many parents in the previous births. I'll have so many parents in the future births. I don't even remember which birth was I in to have you as my parents, and my journey is done here. I have to go on. I am not coming back to this body. And I suggest you also don't lament, because I don't know you. Just imagine, if we can hold on to this thought, if we can hold on to this reality, one thing that will surely disappear is attachment. Where do we have attachment? Where we feel that this is mine, right? ये बेटी मेरी है, ये बेटा मेरा है, ये सब, this is mine, and that is where attachment sprouts. Why are we not so attached to a stranger? Because we have no bodily connection. We always say that blood is thicker than water and all that drama that we give. सब माया है, because we are conditioned in that way. Blood is not thicker than water. The divinity within me is always connected to the divinity within you. It does not matter whether I am related to you in body or blood or not. And when one is able to move beyond this shackle of bodily relationships, the prison that this body is, it imprisons us, right? It does not allow us to expand. See, we are not allowed to expand. How? Because we get confined by the body and everything related to the body. But when the realization dawns that I am that infinite, and when we are able to break the body's confinement, we are able to expand. And when we expand, what happens? We are able to connect to everything around us, be it a small ant or a great tree. Because there are no two. That tree is also me, that neighbor is also me, my enemy is also me, my child is also me, your child is also me. Everything is me, everything is mine, because there are no two. But वो conditioning ही नहीं छूटती ना. Why? Again, I will not say कि छूटती नहीं है. We don't want to leave that conditioning. That is the problem. And Nibi says, now that this conditioning is gone, I refuse to enter this body. I do not want this body, which is the cause of all one's troubles. So the gods replied, okay, so if that is what you want, then you can live on the islands. So Nimi lives on the islands. He took his abode in the body of all the jivas, being indicated by the opening and the closing of the eye. When you open the eye and close the eye, that is because of Nimi. So he is present in all of us. There all are eyelids. And by this, what they did was they needed a descendant, right? So the sages churned the body of Nimi. They again and again, they keep saying they churned the arm, they churned the body. Why do they keep saying this? Again, you must have heard, right? The process of churning. What is the process of churning? Tell me. What is the process of churning? We have heard about churning of the Milky Ocean. We have heard about churning of the Milky Ocean, and time and again in Bhagwat we will see they churned this king and so came out. They churned this king and so came out. What is churning? This is what we have to think. See, Nimi refused to get back to his body, so he is present at the eyelid. He witnesses the world through our eyelid, and he keeps opening and closing. And many a times, I feel that our eyelids are opening and closing somewhere. They are telling us, don't get stuck here. This is not real. Khulti hai, band hoti hai. Khulti hai, band hoti hai. To keep us away. Have you ever seen when you go to a mandir? They put a parda in front of God, right? So that we don't keep looking at him. There goes a story that in Vrindavan, God is so sweet, There was this devotee, she came to the Christian temple. I don't know, is it Bhaki Bihari Lal Ji ka temple hai or what? I think it is that one. She came and she kept eyeing the Lord, and she told Lord, you come with me. And in the morning when the Pandits came, they realized that the Lord is not there in the mandir, he is gone. Where? He followed that old lady who devoutly asked him to come. She was looking at him, ek tak. And she took him away. They had to look for the Lord, plead, get him back. And from then on, they don't keep the curtains open all the time. They'll open the curtain, a little darshan closed. Open the curtain, little darshan closed. Because they are afraid that somebody else will keep looking at the Lord and take him away. Khulta bad. So again and again our eyes keep telling us, don't get involved, look with it. Don't get involved, look with it. Don't get involved, look with it. But we don't listen to the indication of our eyes, do we? They keep opening and they keep closing. They keep opening and they keep closing. But we keep looking out in spite of the opening and the closing. We do not turn with words. Nibby tries. Nibby has been trying. He is trying to awaken all of us sitting on our eyelids. This is not real, the one inside. This is not real, the one inside. But who will turn? So they churn the body of Nibby. What is this churning? This is something we need to understand. What is this churning? Churning is a process, very simple process. It is a process where what happens? When you churn the milk, what happens? Dahi and all, butter comes out, right? Right? Think about it. Very simply. When butter comes out, what happens? If we mix milk into water, will it get dissolved or will it be able to maintain its own identity? It will get dissolved, isn't it? But now suppose the same milk has turned into butter because of the process and the churning, and this butter is put into water. What will happen? Will the butter mix with water? No, right? It will maintain its own identity. So this process of churning is simply that what after the churning, a very pure and elevated soul came out. Firstly, two things over here. Now, once because of the churning, when that soul came out, that child came out, he was no more a descendant of the Ikshvakus. He was no more the descendant of Nibby because Nibby had left his body. He was another lineage, another line altogether. And it is said that this new line of Kshatriya kings was known as Janak. Mind you, the new line of Kshatriya kings was known as Janak. Just like we keep saying, Indra is a designation. It is not the name of a god or a deva. In the same way, Janak is a designation. It is the name of the entire lineage. Videha, Janak, or why are they named as Janak? Why are they named as Videha? Because they are the sons of Videha. They have come from the body of Nibby, right? And why Janak? They are the purest of the form. They have come out after a lot of churning. Can we do an analogy if it does not become too boring? You might need a pen or paper. Let's try. Start writing. Cow is equal to sattvic nature. What is the grass? It is japa, penance, sacred observance, yam, niyam, blessed virtues, and religious practices. And after the cow eats the grass, what comes? Milk. Milk is love when she sees the calves. The hind legs which are tied are quietism, and the pot in which the milk is taken is faith. The milker is the pure mind, and milk the supreme righteousness. But even to reach till milk, what do you need? Cow. And what is the grass? Japa, tapa, niyam, sadhana. Nothing is possible without sadhana. Many people debate. There is no debate. तपस्या करनी पड़ेगी, पेनेंस करना पड़ेगा, अवेयरनेस में रहना पड़ेगा, त्याग करना पड़ेगा. You have to follow yam, niyam, sayam. You have to. There is no other way out. So after all this, in the pot of faith, right, milk comes. It is the pure mind and pure mind is the milker, and the milk comes out. Now we boil the milk. We have to boil the milk in the fire of desirelessness. And how do we cool it? With contentment and forbearance. You'll need to write it down. And then we make curd out of it. How does the curd form? You need jawan, right? You need a little bit of, it is fortitude and mind control. And after that you churn the curd. Don't you churn the curd after that? And what is the vessel? Vessel is cheerfulness. The stick is reflection. The base is self-restraint. And the string, right? The string is truthfulness and agreeable words. ऐसे ही churning नहीं हो जाती. Do you realize what all is needed? Please, again, if you would like me to repeat, cow is the sattvic nature. Grass is japa, pattern, sacred observance, yam, niyam, blessed virtues. Then comes out the milk. Milk is love when she sees the calf, right? That is when the milk comes out. The hind legs are always tied when you're milking the cow. That is quietism. Pot, you need a pot of faith. And the milker is the pure mind. You cannot use your monkey mind. The mind has to be quieted, right? After that comes milk, which is supreme righteousness. When you boil the milk on the fire of desirelessness. So now all this has to be done to reach the level of butter. This is what churning is. Cool it with contentment and forbearance. Then you put the gelling agent using curd. It is fortitude, and mind control is the gelling agent. Now the yogurt is ready and you have to start the churning because you want butter, right? What is the vessel in which you put the curd? It is cheerfulness. What is the stick? Stick is reflection. Yes, reflection is needed. Many a times we just do things, right? Without any reflection, without any thought. Base is self-restraint. Yes, you have to restrain yourself time and again. Question yourself. What is a need? What is a want? What is necessary? What is not? What is luxury and what is necessity? Don't just mindlessly indulge. See, it's not easy. Spirituality is not like, it's not like going to the sabji mandi and getting some vegetables. And if you think that is it, unfortunately, it is not. Okay? And what is the string? String is truthfulness in agreeable words. इसी के लिए कहते हैं ना चुप रहो. वाणी एक अनमोल है जो कोई बोले जानी. ये तराजू तोल कर फिर मुख बाहर आनी. जबरदस्ती याप 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 क्यों बोलना है? इतनी 100 चीज तो गलत निकलेगी मुंह से. So words, and then comes butter. Pure, excellent, holy butter of dispassion. आ गया. But then, you know what? Even after that, once you get the butter, it does not stop there. You put the butter on the fire of yoga. See, in spite of getting the butter, the sadhana has not stopped. The tapas has not stopped. Now you're putting it in the fire of yoga. And then, what is the fuel? Karma, good and bad. You put it as a fuel. And the scum is removed, right? When you make ghee, from top, that brown parts will start coming out. Those are the worldly attachments. What are the worldly attachments? This is my son, this is my mummy, this is my papa, this is my best friend, this is this, and so on and so forth. There is no love. Attachments and love are two different things. We have done it in great detail. Then finally comes the ghee of Gyan. We talked, right, in the Bhagirath Katha also, that Gyan aise hi nahi aa jata. See, there is a process which they are following. Scriptures, reading, chanting, burning, desireless, blah, 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 everything. And finally, the scum is removed and you get ghee. That is true knowledge. Just like Gangaji fell on Shivji, unless and until you are at the level of Shivji, Ganga won't come. That true divine knowledge won't come. See, there is a flow of knowledge from outside and there is a flow of knowledge from inside. So finally that wisdom, that divine knowledge dawns. Now you cool the ghee with buddhi, reason, vivek. Cold, pure ghee is finally wisdom. Okay? Now you are established in wisdom because of so much of churning. We are trying to understand what? Let me reiterate. Churning. Why do we keep saying in our scriptures, churning, time and again? And with this churning, now we are established in wisdom, right? So what are we going to do? We have to light a lamp. So the lamp is there, that is the chitta. The stand, even-mindedness. The wick is again that transcendental state. There are 4 states, right? So transcendental state, it might be a bit heavy if the children are listening. Waking, dream, dreamless, and sattva, rajas and tamas, beyond the state. Then you light the lamp and you get knowledge. Finally, now the knowledge is coming. That flame that we get, That is why we worship fire. Fire is the purest form. Always remember, we do arti, whenever we have a havan, fire is pratyaksha Brahman. Just like the sun, fire is also a form of Brahman. We can see it and it's pure because whatever you put in it, it purifies it, it gulps it down. There is no distinction over there. So that flame of knowledge of the self, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that, has finally come up. And then what happens? The darkness is going away, right? When the flame of knowledge of self, that Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that, there is no difference. That is what we started with in the session today. Has come, lamp is on, the darkness of duality disappears, and we have light. So, Buddhi can see and decide to untie the knot. Now we can untie ourselves. We are not bound. We are always free. But then what happens? Winds. Loud winds come. Maya comes. Then temptations. Yes, it happens to the greatest of yogis. Riddhi, Siddhi, troubles, the five senses, all the winds of different temptations, Riddhi, Siddhis, troubles, Maya gushes, and the lamp goes off. Off the lamp goes because the wind, and again there is darkness. In spite of all the process, in spite of reaching that, we can sway. We can fall. And when we read about such sages who have fallen from that point also. So, हम क्या चीज़ है? And we, time and again, justify our indulgence, justify our ignorance, saying वो भी कर रहा है तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. अरे आप तो उधर तक भी नहीं पहुंचे, वो भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. The sages also should not indulge because they do not know when they will slip. And we say that we can, and yet realize it is foolishness. This is churning. This is the true churning that our scriptures are talking about. See, when we read our scriptures, there are a lot of deeper things that we have to keep in mind. And this lineage which had come was a result of churning. See, Raja Janak, we always say, right? Sita's father is Raja Janak. His real name is Siradhwaj. And every ancestor of his has a name. But why were they called Janak? They were called Janak because they all were really proficient in the knowledge of the spirit. And by the grace of the masters of yoga like the sage Yagnavalk, they were rid of pairs of opposites such as joy and sorrow, even in their household lives. They had this lineage. Now, the Ikshvakus has their guru as Vashisht, and this new lineage, which has come out of churning of the body of Nibi, is known as the lineage of the Janaks, or this is totally different, Mithalavasis or Vedeha, and their guru was Yagnavalk. And with the grace of the guru, and because of that immense churning, they were sthit. They were established. There was no chance for them to fall again. And again, there was no chance for them to fall again because there was a guru stopping them from falling. In spite of all the churning we saw, right? That you reach the highest point, yet you can stumble and slip down. So over here, they say that this lineage was free from the pairs of opposites. What are the pairs of opposites? That is delusion, right? That is Maya. Mine and thine, joy and sorrow, fame and defame, life and death, all these don't exist. And these are the cause of sorrows. Duality is a cause of sorrow. And Raja Janak and his lineage were free from sorrow. Hence, today I question you. We householders compare ourselves with Raja Janak. Right? Many of the times we say, Raja Janak also lived in a palace. Raja Janak also did this. Raja Janak was very opulent. Raja Janak was the guru of Shukdev ji, who was narrating the Bhagwat. Shukdev ji also had a doubt. वो तो सब कर रहे हैं, वो तो ये कर रहे हैं, वो तो कर. अरे भाई, he was already established. And he was beyond mixing. He was that clarified butter, that clarified ghee. He was not, even that wind would not blow off the lamp. Yet, he had a guru to guard him, and he always protected himself with Hari Kirtan, Hari Naam. He was immersed in it. He said, in spite of the fact that I am from that lineage, after the churning, we are elevated. We are actually blessed to be free from the pairs of opposite. Yet, I have surrendered to my Guru and I have surrendered to Sri Hari. Even when I am living in this world, I am always connected to Sri Hari. Kya pata main kab gir jaun? Who knows? Why take the risk? In this lineage, Raja Janak, that is Shri Dhwaj, found Ma Sita while he was ploughing. And this also has a very, very big significance. Why? Ma Sita came out from the earth while Shri Dhwaj, that is that Janak, was ploughing. What was he ploughing? What was he ploughing? Socho, na? We keep listening to these stories, but do we question? Our scriptures are written in a cryptic manner at times. He was ploughing himself. खुद को खोद रहे थे, digging within, introspecting, going deep inside. And what comes from inside? Ma Sita, Sakshat Lakshmi. What is Lakshmi? Lakshmi Tattva, she is contentment personified. We spend our entire lives looking for joy outside. Momentary joys. ये मुझे मिल जाएगा तो I'll become khush. If I get admission in this college, I'll become khush. If my child gets admission in that college, I'll become happy. If my husband talks to me like this, I'll be happy. If I get a bigger house, I'll be happy. If I get more cars, I'll be happy. If I get a diamond set, I'll be happy. So on and so forth. If I win a competition, I'll be happy. Ask yourself, what are you seeking? With every endeavor, with every person you talk to, with every place you visit, with every possession you go and buy, what do you want? You want happiness. But the minute you get that possession, the happiness is short-lived, right? It disappears. So Raja Janak over here was not looking for Shri Dhwaj, was not looking for happiness outside. He knew that it is within me. Because I am Satchit Anand Swarup. Chit Anand or Chir Anand. I am Anand. You know, this Kasturi Mrig, he spends his entire life looking for where the smell of the Kasturi is coming. He never looks within. The smell is coming from within him, right? Kasturi Mrig hai. He has that smell within him. We are joy, we are Anand, we are bliss personified. But we spend our entire life seeking Anand, seeking bliss, seeking joy outside. We look for contentment outside. Contentment dil mein hai aapke. You are ever contented. You are ever in Anand. That is your natural state. Why is there so much of grief and agony? Because we oscillate away from our natural state, and then we feel, oh my God, we feel agitated. We work so hard to move towards our natural state, but the problem is working hard does not mean that you are going in the right direction. You could be foolishly running with all your might in the opposite direction, right? Will you reach your destination? No. Working hard nahi, working smart bhi zaruri hota hai. Don't work like a donkey. Are you working hard or are you working smart? Many people say, I spent 16 hours studying or I work so hard. Ask yourself, why aren't the marks coming? Are you working hard or are you working smart? Donkeys also work very hard. To what end? Now Raja Janak worked hard to find the contentment within, unlike us who look for it outside. And that is where he found Ma Sita. She is Sakshat Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is nothing but contentment. The contented and the grateful is always rich. A beggar is a person who has everything, yet keeps seeking more and more and is never satisfied. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. 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 Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki Tum Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Bolo Bajrang Bali ki Jai. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman.